boys and girls, and welcome to painting day. You will need a cup of water, your watercolors, and your beautiful landscape that we outlined last art class. Boys and girls, look who it is. Do you remember? What's his name? Yep, it's Mr. Brush. He missed you guys so much. And you know, he would love to talk to you, but he's a brush and he can't talk. So I will do the talking for him. Yes, I know you like to keep your hair nice and neat. Yes, I know you like to keep the paint off of the handle and off of here. Yes, I know. And our first grade friends know that we don't scrub with you because you're not a scrub brush, are you? Yes, you are Mr. Brush, and I am sure our first graders are as happy to see you as you are to see them. Yes, I know, their work looks fantastic, I agree. Yes, we will get started. All right, friends, say adios to Mr. Brush. He'll be back to check out your work when you're done painting. Are you ready to paint with me? Okay, awesome. Okay, boy, Mr. Brush was sure excited to see you guys again. All right, we are going to start with our paintings, and we will paint from the sky, working our way down. Do you know why we start at the top and not at the bottom? Do you remember why? Look at where my hand is. If I'm painting and I start down here and my arm is working up, what am I doing? You're gonna get it all, you're gonna get it all over your sleeve and your painting's gonna get smeared. So we're gonna start at the top and work our way down. So I'm gonna use these colors here. Now, again, you can use whatever colors you choose, but it should make sense with the picture. So that means no green skies, no purple skies, no black, no brown. Let's keep it to these colors here. If you were going to do a gray sky, do you know how to do that? Yep, you just need lots and lots and lots of water and just a touch of black. Remember, black's a very powerful color, so a little bit will go a long way. You don't want to make it too dark. Well, I guess unless you're doing a night sky, but then this sun won't make sense. So let's do our sky in colors. I'm rambling on. Let's get painting. Yeah, I know. Okay, here we go. So remember how Mr. Brush taught us. Just the tip of the brush touches the paint, swirl it in. I wet my brush first. There's my water. Wet my brush, swirl it into the paint. Keep the paint into its own little section here. If you start mixing, your colors are not gonna look good. So you wanna keep your paint tray nice so then we can paint again for another project. So I'm gonna swirl some color over my sunshine here, and you can paint right over the black Sharpie lines we did. And the Sharpie lines will show through because watercolor is transparent. That means you can see through it. So here is how I'm gonna do my sky. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of orange and I'm going to lightly paint that on. Now you don't want to add too much water and you don't want to scrub in the same place because you will scrub a hole in your paper. This paper that we have is not watercolor paper, so it is not going to stand up to that much water without tearing or getting super soggy. So the less you use, the better. So I'm just kind of going through, dipping the color off my brush, then touching back into the color I want to use, and then I'm going right up to this line here. The sky is above all that, so I'm going to tap back in, and I'm just sort of layering colors on while it's still wet. The next thing we're gonna do is our trees and our bushes. So let's get some green. And same thing, this is the first time I'm using green in here, so I'm touching. I made sure I rinsed my brush really good. You could have some paper towels waiting in case you need to really get that color off your brush. And then I'm going to tilt my paper and I'm going to fill this in very carefully. Go over here and I'm going to complete the bushes, and then we will start working on our field. Okay, so now I'm going to start doing my crops back here. These are my fields that have been plowed. So I am going to, in the back, I'm gonna use some black. Now remember I said black's really powerful. Look at how it already made my brush super, super dark. So I am just touching a tiny bit of black, and then I'm turning my paper again because I'm gonna work this way down, and I'm doing this section up here, and I want it to look gray, just like it is. I don't want it to look super dark black. If you make a mistake and you say, oh gosh, that's way too black, here's a little trick. You can take a piece of paper towel, press it on the color while it's wet, and it will lift that color up a little bit. You could also try adding a little more water, but once it's there, it's there. So make sure that when you're using black, you have a lot of water on your brush and just touch just the tip, and it will be this pretty gray color. Then we're gonna do our next layer here, and this one, I want it to be a little bit darker. So I'm gonna do a little more black on this one. Ooh, that's really dark. So let's spread that out. There we go. Now I'm going to carefully go in between my little plants here. Now I am moving on to this section, and this is gonna be my dirt. So what color is dirt? Yep, we're gonna use some brown next. Okay, my brown is done. I'm gonna rinse my brush really, really good because brown and black are pretty dark colors, and I'm switching to yellow next. So I want to make sure that my brush is pretty clean, because when I touch in that yellow, I definitely do not want to add any black or any brown in there. I'm gonna go ahead and do yellow in this next section. Okay, rinse my brush again. Next layer is going to be the orange. Looking beautiful. I hope you're happy with yours so far. All right, we're going back to some brown. This is going to be some more dirt down here, so let's get some brown in there. Looking good. All right, we've got 2 more sections, and then we'll finish up with our little sprout parts. So for this zigzag section, this one is going to be red. Red is done, and for the final one at the bottom, we're going to go back to this gray color, so I'm touching in the black just a little bit. Almost done. So now I'm going to go back, make sure my brush is nice and pointy. I'm gonna swirl it around in the green, and I'm gonna use just the point of my brush, and I'm gonna go back in and touch in all of my little plants that are growing. My painting is done. So to clean up, I'm gonna leave this tray like this, and I'm gonna leave my painting flat. I don't wanna pick it up because if I have a lot of water, it might drip. So I'm gonna just leave it right here, and then I'm gonna wiggle my brush in the water. I'm gonna take a clean paper towel, and I'm pinching the tip of my brush in there. So it is clean. I don't see any color on there, so I know it's clean. And then I'm going to fix the hair, and then I'm going to set it back in my tray and let everything sit and dry. Once this is dry, you can photograph it and put it on Artsonia. I cannot wait to see these. We are going to put them under Line Landscape, so you should see that project. I hope you had a lot of fun with our first painting. Oh, wait, what? Mr. Brush says, great job, boys and girls. Do you want to paint with them again? Did they do a good job keeping their brushes nice and neat and clean and their paint trays beautiful? Oh, Mr. Brush is so excited, and I am too. I can't wait to see your paintings, boys and girls. Have a wonderful week, and Mr. Brush will see you soon.